I just wanted to do a quick stream here of Choose Your Own Adventure. I remembered this from last night and I was playing around with it, so I just wanted to do a quick demonstration of it. I might do this on my PC at some point, but here we go. Open Choose Your Own Adventure.
Welcome to Choose Your Own Adventure, brought to you by Audible. You have 5 stories in your collection. Would you like to read Mystery of the Maya, The Magic of the Unicorn, Space, and Beyond, The Abominable Snowman, or Journey Under the Sea?
Maya.
Welcome back to Mystery of the Maya. You've explored 14% of the story so far, picking up where you last left off. Or, you can tell me to start over from the beginning.
You lunge forward, but the only thing you clasp is the lamp next to your bed. You jerk awake and sit up, looking around. You are home in your own room. There's no altar, no singing men. You take some deep breaths. It was just a bad dream. 3 days ago, your best friend Tom disappeared on assignment in Mexico. He was doing a piece for cable TV on the ancient Mayan temples at Chichen Itza. His assistant Amanda called to tell you the news. Tom was onto a hot story, but he wouldn't say what on the phone. After he was reported missing, the police found a dark red stain on the stone of the Mayans' altar. No one has seen him since, Amanda tells you. Who called to tell you? You ask. Tom's guide, Manuel. Tom said that if anything happened to him, I should call you right away, she replies. Do you think you could go down there to look for him? I'm really worried.
Do you continue your journey?
Yes.
Tom is your oldest friend. You have known each other since kindergarten. You have no choice. You must go to Mexico to find him. Of course I will go, you tell Amanda. That was 3 days ago. You look at the packed bag next to your bed, and then at your watch. Even though it's still dark, it's almost time to get up anyway. A few short hours later, you are flying at 35,000 feet, en route to Mérida, the capital of the Yucatan. Several books on the Maya are spread out in front of you. At one time, the Maya controlled huge ceremonial, agricultural, and trading centers throughout the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Their kingdom stretched from Tulum, on the edge of the Caribbean Sea, to Tikal, deep in the south, and on to Chichen Itza and Uxmal farther inland. Then, simply and mysteriously, the great Mayan cities faded into nothing. They became ghost towns and ruins. Mayan culture disappeared overnight. Today, vines and jungle brush cover everything. Tom flew into Mérida. Your plan is to go there first and try to retrace Tom's steps. Amanda has arranged for Manuel, Tom's guide, to meet you at the airport. Manuel is a well-known guide for those who seek the mysteries of the Maya, Amanda tells you. And he has good connections at Mérida University, where the best Mayan scholars work. But Manuel also has a reputation for being unusual. Tom suspected that he might be the reincarnation of an ancient Mayan shaman, she warns. Your guidebooks say shamans were extremely powerful, priest-like magicians or spellbinders. The Maya believed shamans represented the link between heaven and earth. They were the human link to Mayan gods, such as the dreaded plumed serpent or the enormously powerful jaguar. You are curious to meet this Manuel. Several hours later, you land at Mérida and pass through customs. Suddenly, as if appearing out of nowhere, a man is by your side. Hello, my name is Manuel. I am to be your guide. Welcome to Mexico. He shakes your hand and smiles. Manuel's skin shines like copper. His large nose and sloping forehead remind you of the ancient Mayan paintings and stone carvings in the books you studied on the plane. Suddenly you realize that Manuel himself must have descended from the Mayan people. The civilization, many say, collapsed 800 years ago, but its people live on to this day. I tried to help Tom, Manuel says, grabbing your heaviest suitcase. But, unfortunately, he did not always take my advice. Maybe together we can find him? Where do you think we should start, Manuel? You ask. Perhaps at the university? Dr. Lopez might help. He is a leading expert on Mayan culture. Or maybe we should go straight to Chichen Itza, the last place Tom was seen alive.
By the way, this is streaming directly from my phone if anybody's watching.
Visit Dr. Lopez?
So I also don't have my
go
chat.
Straight to Chichen Itza.
Can you say that again?
Do you visit Dr. Lopez or go straight to Chichen Itza?
Visit Dr. Lopez.
Manuel smiles with
This
satisfaction.
actually be better
at
if I
your
was
choice.
wearing a headphone.
Very good. You will like Dr. Lopez. Come with me. A taxi takes you through the narrow streets of Merida, past Spanish-style buildings and to the university. Dr. Lopez has an office on the 4th floor of a building with long hallways and high ceilings. You enter his cluttered office and he speaks. Welcome to the land of the Maya, Dr. Lopez says with a smile. He waves his arm about the room. Just as you are thinking that you would be grounded if your bedroom were as messy as Dr. Lopez's office, you notice that it's crammed with Mayan art. You are looking at an amazing collection of pottery and stone carvings. There are snakes, monkeys, jaguars, and fierce-looking half-human, half-animal forms. Even in the age of computer animation, the ancient Mayan icons are still powerful and menacing, you think. You are here about your friend, the young American TV reporter, aren't you? Dr. Lopez says in a kind voice. Yes, I am. Can you help? Perhaps, Dr. Lopez replies. He came here and asked for information. The mystery of the Maya has lured many. Tom is not the only one to disappear. He was keen to learn, so I offered him a special and dangerous approach. What was that? You ask. The hair on your neck and arms rises. Something is afoot. A time travel potion developed by the Maya hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I gave Tom a bottle of it before he left for the site at Chichen Itza. The potion works best if you take it near one of the ancient pyramids. My guess is that your friend used it and has yet to return. I cannot explain the stains on the stone altar at El Castillo, the largest pyramid there. If Tom did something to anger the Mayan priests, he may have found more trouble than he could handle. When angry, the priests could be vicious and brutal. So what can we do? You cry. Dr. Lopez reaches into his desk and pulls out a small flask. He holds it out toward you. Here, take this. It is the last of my supply. This potion will let you travel back 800 years, to the time when Mayan civilization began to disappear. But remember, don't show fear when you get there. You must be brave. Manuel will go with you. Dr. Lopez nods toward your guide. You look at Manuel, who looks back. His eyes are filled with kindness. I will go with you if you want me to, he says gently. Do you take the potion to travel back in time to look for Tom? Or do you travel to the ruins at Chichen Itza instead to talk to the local police?
Travel back in time.
You decide to try the time travel potion.
Sounds much more
First,
exciting.
you and Manuel take a bus to Chichen Itza. When you arrive, you find a quiet corner and pull out Dr. Lopez's flask. The time travel potion is thick and slimy. You take a gulp. Suddenly, you are in a busy city. Women are carrying clay pots that look heavy in their arms, while men in the green robes from your dream walk through the streets. Directly in front of you, there is a large building that appears to be a temple. Manuel is beside you. Act normal, he whispers. We are 1,500 years back in time, at a place called Uxmal. That big building is called the Temple of the Magicians. He shakes his head as if to stifle a sneeze. The potion was extra strong, he says. We also ended up in the wrong place. We're in Uxmal? Did the same thing happen to Tom? You cry. Manuel shrugs, his eyes darting around as if he is looking for someone. You follow Manuel's gaze. He is staring across at a long, low building made of yellowish stone covered with snake carvings. A hush falls over the crowd. 5 men and 1 woman in gold and red robes, carrying silver spears and wearing bright green feathers in their hair, emerge from the low building. They move through the crowd and start climbing the steps of the temple. They are of the priest clan, Manuel whispers. That is the priestess with them. A squad of warriors carrying knives and swords fans out in the courtyard. By now you notice others in the crowd staring at Manuel. Several people bow down low before him. They move aside as if to make room for you both to move forward. Is Manuel a shaman after all? He smiles at you and says, My friend, you may choose to go with the priests and priestess, or you can go with the warriors. Either group might know about how to find Tom. You hear a horrible scream coming from a small hut behind one of the pyramids. Everyone stops. What was that? You whisper. You will soon find out. It might be someone preparing for services. Decide now, Manuel replies in a hurried whisper. Do you go with the priests and priestess, or do you go with the warriors?
Priest.
The crowd parts further as you and Manuel walk after the priests and priestess. You begin to climb the steep stone steps. When you reach a ledge, the priestess watches you closely as the 5 priests form a tight square around you. Their long black hair is coated with a thick, light-colored substance. You ask Manuel what it is. Clay, taken from the earth and dried. It has healing properties, and the priests think it makes them stronger. They use it in sacrifices. You will see. It is called Itza. You pull back in horror. Sacrifices? What for? What kind of sacrifices? Be patient. Just follow the priests. Do not show fear whatever you do. Manuel hangs back. The priests alongside you climb the steep steps of the Temple of the Magicians one by one. At the top of the pyramid, there is a small room with a stone altar covered in a brownish stain. You are now going to be one of us, says the head priest, as if he's known you before. Welcome to the Mayan priesthood, where men and women are... But he does not finish. A blood-curdling scream rises from below. What is going on? Do you accept their offer of priesthood, or try to make a run for it?
Priesthood.
You stare at the priests in front of you. 2 of them glare at you. You notice one of them carries a knife, and suddenly you are frightened. The head priest looks stern and says, Be calm. We will not hurt you. Look in the heavens. There is Venus. It is both the morning and the evening star. Venus will guide you as it guides us. Stay with us and learn about the secrets of the universe.
I believe they knew Venus then.
Learn of heaven and hell. Learn of the power of the 4 corners of the earth. You hesitate, but decide to stay with this group of people. 3 of the priests move forward suddenly and grasp your arms. They shove you toward the altar. Are they going to sacrifice you? One of them speaks. You must make a sacrifice to seal your pact with us. There is no turning back. Here is the knife. You must perform a sacrifice. You are horrified. What is to be sacrificed? What happens to you if you refuse? If you refuse, will they sacrifice you? Do you agree to perform a sacrifice? Or do you refuse?
Agree? It's just some blood?
Yes. I will perform the ritual. You whisper. Speak up! We can't hear you! The priest with the knife yells at you. Yes, I will perform the ritual. But what for? You try to hide your fear, but you can't. The head priest steps forward and says to you, Water is scarce, so we sacrifice to the god Chalk for rain. Crops die in the fields, sickness takes our people, war ruins us. Each time we sacrifice, we hope the gods will treat us better and keep us from harm. But, you say, what can killing accomplish? I mean, it's crazy. No more talk.
Yeah.
Act. Take the knife. Perform the ritual for Chalk. The priestess points to the altar. A slave holding a chicken climbs the temple steps. Behind him, 2 soldiers lead a prisoner kicking and screaming. Looking into the prisoner's eyes, you see he is pleading to be saved.
Oh my god.
Do you stall for time? Or accept the knife?
Stall for time.
The priests wait impatiently as you ramble on
You have
about
to
not
kill
wanting
somebody?
killing one. Their eyes gleam and their bodies shake as though with fever. You must do it, one of them shouts at you. You must! But it isn't right. I can't kill. I won't kill. One of the priests lunges at you, but you duck to one side. He tumbles down the steps of the temple. The crowd of people standing below look up in horror. In the confusion, you sneak down the other
There's your
side of the
sacrifice.
pyramid. Although the steps are extremely steep, you make it and manage to lose yourself in the crowd. You ask a man where the warriors can be found. He points to the courtyard. You decide to join them. Nothing can be more warlike than life with the priests. Perhaps the warriors will be more civilized. The warriors are practicing fighting maneuvers with bow and arrow, spear and club. They are a noisy group, bragging and shouting, punching and wrestling. Manuel tells you these warriors have come from Chichen Itza. He introduces you to the officer in charge. On your way back to Chichen Itza, the officer speaks to you. There are 2 groups here. One group raids our enemies to get slaves or take revenge. The slaves are used for sacrifice. The soldiers in that unit are fast, quiet in the jungle, and ready to die if captured. The other group defends us against invaders. They are careful and watchful. They never give up. They will fight until the last one is dead. Who are your enemies? You ask. Toltecs, a savage group who worship Smoking Mirror, their god of war and death. They are always invading us. Several warriors nod in agreement. The officer in command says, It's up to you. You can go on raids or stay here in defense.
Raid Twitch.
Do you join the warrior raiding party or choose to stay?
Choose to stay.
You stay in Chichen Itza. The days are pleasant and you make good friends among the young Mayan warriors. Your desire to find Tom fades, but you vow to keep a sharp lookout. The Maya are farmers, traders, craftsmen, and warriors. Settlements of houses spread out from Chichen Itza and Uxmal. In this crowded land, water is scarce. Some of the people tend to the fields, while others work making cotton cloth for trading with other Mayan centers. People come to Chichen Itza for great ceremonies, to trade, and to have their disputes settled by the priests or nobles. One day, several of the warriors come together. A tall man with broad shoulders speaks. "Would you like to play the ball game?" he asks. He explains the game and shows you the court and the hard rubber ball. The object is to get the ball through the carved stone hoop. The game looks fast and difficult, and the man tells you it takes much skill, and that the teams that play in the Great Ball Court on ceremonial days face a real test. If they win, they are heroes. But if they lose, their lives are forfeit in the ceremonies which follow. They say that the ball game represents the struggle between Lords of Life and Lords of Death. You are selected to join one of the teams. Do you refuse or agree to play?
Refuse.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you refuse or agree to play?
Refuse.
I'm not playing that game, you say. Find another sucker. Those are the craziest rules I've ever heard. No way. Lose and you die? Several of the warriors nod in agreement, but most of them like the idea of being heroes if they win. The thought of death doesn't frighten them as much as it does you. Some say that it is considered an honor to be sacrificed to a god. Not for you, though. A young warrior, Saw, suggests a hunt for a jaguar that has been seen near the maize fields instead. You agree to go. The day is hot, and the track of the jaguar is hard to follow. By late afternoon, you are far from the maize and squash fields. Without your friends, you would be lost. You are almost out of water, and night is coming on. Do you keep pursuing the jaguar? Or do you convince Za to search for water with you?
Search for water.
Your thirst wins out. You and Sa follow an old, unused path that winds between low-lying hills and thickets. The path ends abruptly at a cenote. You feel an overwhelming impulse to take a swim. "Come on, Sa!" you cry as you plunge into the cool, fresh water. Under the surface, you see a round opening, so you swim toward it. It could either be a man-made tunnel or a natural cave. You come out into a huge underground cavern. In the corner of the cavern lies a pile of treasure, glittering gold, jade rings of the deepest green,
Wow.
and plates of silver, gold, and jade. It is beautiful beyond your wildest imagination. Coming back up for air, you tell Saw what you saw, and both of you descend and enter the tunnel. "Wow! It's the lost treasure of the plumed serpent," says Saw. You stare at this
It's a
treasure
gold?
in amazement. You want to claim it. Do you try to take the gold now, or return to modern times to collect this fabulous treasure?
Collect it now?
The lure of gold is
It'll be
great.
gone.
From the beginning of time, people have worshipped the
They already
shrine
know about it
metal.
now.
They have fought wars, plundered cities, and committed murder in its name. Some say gold has a curse on it. You lose all track of time and place. You seat yourself in front of the treasure and feel the smooth metal. Time passes quickly until a rumbling sound wakens you from your dreams of wealth. Rocks tumble from the roof of the cavern. Boulders slide down and seal off the cave. The air grows hot. Soon the oxygen will be gone. You are finished. You are sealed in the cave by an earthquake. Is it the revenge of the ancient Maya?
Yep, that's the Mayan way.
You've explored 25% of the story and discovered 2 of 40 possible endings. Would you like to see what would have happened if you decided to return to modern times to collect the fabulous treasure?
No.
Would you like to start the story over?
No.
I hope you enjoyed your journey today. Come back again to explore more stories and possibilities. Just say, open Choose Your Own Adventure when you're ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the stream here. It's kind of an ending point. Leave it as a cliffhanger for next time. With more just a trial of his Alexa games. And I will see you next time. I'll probably do an actual stream with this directly from my phone so I get my full features available for streaming. But this was just a short thing I wanted to do. And it reminds me of the old Choose Your Own Adventure books that used to be out, which are now kind of antiquity, I guess you could say, of the people who used to read books. And that was their fun before the age of video games. I remember those books, so it kind of dates me a little bit. But those of you that are younger listening to this stream, go and check out those books and check out this app, and you get a sense of just how these Choose Your Own Adventures used to work in the books. But anyway, I stay happy and stay safe, and I will see you next time.